A Texas company with deep roots in the Hill Country is among those stepping up now to help flood recovery efforts. James Avery Artisan Jewelry has been based in Kerrville for more than 7 decades, and now it's donating $1 million to support relief and recovery in flood-impacted communities. This afternoon, we are going to hear more about what that donation will go to support from Paul Zip. He is the president of James Avery. And Paul, we want to say welcome to our show. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it.
So we have heard of a number of companies and other entities raising money to be able to help flood-impacted communities. $1 million, though, is a sizable donation to offer some help. So what led you all to make this commitment toward flood recovery efforts?
Well, certainly our first priority are the people and the communities that have been affected across the Hill Country. And this region, as you noted, has been the home of James Avery for many, many decades. And so the impact is not only personal from the standpoint of our fellow Texans, but also our associates, our families, and our neighbors, some of them very directly. We're deeply grateful for the responders that came to our aid and those local organizations that mobilized on Thursday morning. And they've responded to this difficult time for us. And we felt as we looked at the donation that it was more a response to help continue that relief effort, to help continue to address the needs, the ongoing needs, both immediate of food and shelter, the ongoing needs of mental health and other critical resources. But we also recognize that there's a long-term component to that, and that while we have given quietly in the past, we believe that it's important for us to support these communities and make sure that their voices are heard and that their needs are met. And we want to play a part in that. Mr. Avery has always held that giving is what it's all about, and we want to continue that legacy and share that perspective with others to help encourage them.
Yeah, Paul, as a company that you mentioned there is based in Kerrville and has been for decades at this point, you also talked about your employees and some of the people who are associated with James Avery being directly impacted by the flooding. If you don't mind sharing, what have you heard so far about what that effect looks like?
Well, as no doubt you've seen in some of the photos and some of the video that are circulating, homes that have been overrun with water everywhere from Uvalde and down in the Hondo area, all the way up through Kerrville, Comfort, and Fredericksburg. We have associates all through those regions. And as we look to those flooded out homes, those lost vehicles and personal property, memories, those are the elements that we hold dear, and those are what we value and want to help to sustain. That also goes to try and help support those families in their communities as it relates to the business community and those that have suffered great loss. Those smaller organizations need assistance as well. And so we're looking to try and do what we can to help continue the families and the communities that they remain intact and they be able to stay in a place that they call home, that they want to continue to call home. And we want to be a part of doing that as we look to restore our community here in Kerrville specifically, but across the Hill Country in general.
And Paul, if you don't mind also sharing, where exactly are you donating this money, this pot of $1 million?
Well, that's a very good question. And what I would tell you is it's one that we're evaluating now to make sure that what we provide now provides for that immediate short-term response when we're in that recovery mode, to try and help address those immediate needs of food and shelter, making sure that folks have a place to stay and meals to be provided. And at the same time, recognizing that recovery is not something that takes place over days or weeks. Generally, it's going to be many years before some of these efforts are completed. And so keeping an eye on both the near term, the intermediate, and that long term, with a focus in those areas that I mentioned, is critical to make sure that the whole community is able to come back and stand back up without spending too much too quickly or allowing those resources to sit too long. Trying to stay nimble in that regard. So we're assessing those needs as we speak and trying to make sure that it's going to go to the right places at the right time for the maximum benefit.
And Paul, in these last few moments, is there any sort of message that you would like to pass along to people who may also be thinking about giving to help so many here in our area that are still trying to recover not only from last year, but this latest round of flooding?
Absolutely. My encouragement to anyone that might be listening is just to consider how you might be able to help those who are in need. Your neighbors that may be a little far away, maybe you've got specific connections to the region, but all of us can appreciate the loss of home, the loss of security, the disruption that causes to us, and the desire to try and help others to set their lives back in order, to get back in place and get back to whatever their normal is going to look like. And our desire is to try and help folks do that as quickly as possible, but also as effectively as possible, and help them to heal in the process.
I'll point out to everybody at home too, if you would like to find information about where to donate, you can also find that on our website at KXAN.com. But Paul Zip, the president of James Avery, thanks again for joining us this afternoon, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Very good. Thank you, Will.